Internationally acclaimed musician, producer, artist. This guy has done incredible things for South African music.
And you don't know who the hell this guy is?
I didn't know who Mpura was at that time.
Incredible producer, DJ, artist, superstar out of Africa, representing South Africa.
Yeah, Maphorisa, what's up? Yeah, it's Maphorisa.
Yo, Amapiano, Nyaspan.
Do you know what I've did for this country?
Maphorisa, a round of applause, please.
Themba Sekowe, who you all know as DJ Maphorisa, was born on November 15th, 1987 in Soshanguve, Pretoria, South Africa. Growing up, he was exposed to a diverse range of musical genres, including hip-hop, house, and kwaito. But his passion for music began emerging at a very early age.
I'm originally from Pretoria, a hood called Soshanguve. So, yeah. So, my inspiration, I guess, with music is... we come from like a gospel, background where my uncle plays keys, my cousin plays drums, I produce, and my other cousin sing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm coming from a background like that. So I saw a keyboard at a younger age, I think I was like 9, 7, 8 there.
And there are no specific details of how long his parents' union lasted, but from the information that is shared with us, we know that he grew up around his mother and uncles. And it is said that his father passed on in 2020 at the age of 57.
Knowing how to connect a PA system,
Wow.
Yeah, so I feel that's how, and then I started, I got a PC, a computer. Remember back in the days when it was like Windows 95, Windows 98, yeah. So I started fixing computers, knowing how to install a computer, knowing how to install a operating system, what's a hard drive, what's a CD-ROM, what's a sound card, So I'm coming from that background. And then now with the music, I fell in love with house music, dance, Afro, and then producing. Then now I started DJing. So, yeah, I think the DJ thing helped a lot. So I started getting gigs. Then my name, in the hood, started making my demo there, and then it will be big in just my hood, just my block.
Just running around the block.
Just the block. So, yeah. But I was growing the name. You know what I'm saying? Reaching out, going to record labels, putting demos there.
He also added, everyone used to bring their memory sticks to collect music from me. I had music, electronics, and headphones. So when there were parties, I was the guy they called to come and play. He sort of became the whole township's resident DJ.
Do you remember the moment where you took this decision that, I'm a musician?
Having access to your computer. I think to stay away out of trouble. Go strategy.
So DJ Maphorisa eventually challenged himself and released his first project when he was in grade 11, titled Funny Face.
When you are given a roadmap, you have to find your way. Sure. Some find the way, some they don't, but the work speaks for itself. And you've done well, Ntwana.
In 2010, DJ Maphorisa signed to one of South Africa's most successful record labels, Kalawa Jazmee, but that wasn't the end of his troubles, because during this time, he needed to make ends meet and he needed transport from Pretoria all the way to Johannesburg to report to Kalawa. I used to DJ on weekends and I opened a tuck shop at home just to have cash flow. At school, I used to sell sweets and lollipops. You can't do business without capital. And that's how I was able to save money and buy my first car. And that's how I was able to move around and make it to Kalawa, said Maphorisa in an article in the Sunday Times in 2018, recalling his early days. His first Kalawa hit song was Professor's Jezebel, a massive award-winning number in 2010. From that moment on, everything I touched became gold under the record label, he said. Pori had DJs he looked up to like Chico Twala and DJ Cleo, but he states he wanted to introduce a different sound, so he formed the group Uhuru, known for their massive single Y-Tjukuta, which is arguably the beginning of Gqom. And the song became so huge that the group started getting bookings in Botswana, Zambia, and Angola. And it's during his travels that his sound became African influenced. Uhuru formed in 2012 in Soshanguve, Pretoria by Ngobile Mahlanu, who's known as Amapiano, Sihle Dlalisa, known as DJ Clap, and Qelimpilo Simelani, known as Eli, including Maphorisa, of course.
Masingene endlini yabona before singene endlini athi wayingathi not at Uhuru athi ayingathi not why nithi not why ngathi ubani usho kanjani Wizkid uthi why ngathi Uhuru ke athi na asingene endlini.
They gained fame in 2013 from their hit Y-Tjukuta and their collaboration with Mafikizolo on Corner. But sadly, in 2015, members began pursuing solo careers, you know how it goes. And in 2016, Uhuru was rebranded under new management.
Information I feel like mhlambe le contract le khona la vele umsakhona mawuyibuza iyaxaka because of ama mistake wakho yi contract. Yeah.
So, if you don't know, Maphorisa produced Ngud for Kwesta, and he calls that song a life changer for Kwesta.
He hadn't had a hit. I mean, there was Do Like I Do, and then that was it. And on one fateful night, at DJ Maphorisa's studio, we came in to finish a recording of one song, and he said, you know, I've got this other sample that I've got.
He's behind the Afrobeat influenced hit Particular, which features South African rapper Nasty C and American producer Diplo's band Major Lazer, as well as other artists. And Particular is not Maphorisa's only brush with international hits. He has worked with big Nigerian superstars such as Wizkid and Davido. He's one of the producers of rap megastar Drake's 2016 hit, One Dance.
One more time before I go.
The song reached #1 in 15 countries, including Australia, France, and Germany. It topped the US Billboard Hot 100 for 10 weeks, non-consecutively, and became the joint third longest consecutive #1 song in the history of the UK singles charts, with 15 consecutive weeks. And about One Dance, he says, I want to see South African and African music become one. That's why I created an Afrobeat song and had an international hip-hop artist on it. My name is one of the biggest in Africa. Black Coffee is representing us globally, but I feel like Africa is my space. In September 2018, he released a single, which in English would be Midnight Starring, but in South Africa it's Midnight Staring, featuring Moonchild Sanelli, DJ Tira, and Busiswa. At the 2018 DSTV Mzansi Viewers' Choice Awards, he received 2 nominations, Favorite Song of the Year and Favorite DJ. On November 27th, 2018, at the 3rd ceremony of Mzansi Kwaito and House Music Awards, I really do not know these awards. But anyway, his single Midnight Staring won an award for most voted for song.
Pori is the one that broke me into the commercial space with Midnight Staring. I lean on a tree.
9th of April 2021, Maphorisa, TRESOR, and Kabza De Small released the collaboration studio album Rumble in the Jungle, which it was big for African music. And on April 16th, 2021, Anati and Tyler ICU's studio EP Banyana was released. The EP featured Sir Chol, Daliwanga, and Kabza De Small, Mpura, and Viska. The single Banyana surpassed 4.2 million streams, and it was certified double platinum by the recording industry of South Africa. He embarked to Maiden Lagos tour for an opening act with Wizkid. At the 2021 Music Kwaito and House Music Awards, he received a nomination for Best DJ. And on 17 September 2021, he released a single, Abalele, with Kabza De Small featuring Amy Faku. In October 2021, he produced Congolese-born singer TRESOR's single, Makhosa and Nyota, from the album Motion. And in November 2022, he worked with Africa Mamani on the Road to Private EP, which was released on the 4th of November. So DJ Maphorisa had received the African DJ of the Year at the Sound City MVP Awards, which were held at the Echo Convention Center in Lagos. And in April 2023, he featured on a hit single, Mnige, seeing other producers like Thala ICU, Nandipa 808, Sika, RSA, and Tyrone D collaborating, which featured #1 on many South African charts. In May 2023, he decided to collaborate with Kabza De Small on a 25 tracks mixtape project titled the Konka Mixtape Sweet and Dust. And piano, music, kwaito, hip-hop, whatever you want to talk about was just taken over. DJ Maphorisa is one of the greatest producers, DJs, artists, musicians, creatives to ever touch down in our country and ever exist in our country.